In the numerous ahadith that we have, the wars after the reappearance of Imam al-Mahdi will be waged by combat forces and soldiers that will come from all around the globe and from all around the world in order to try and assist the Imam in prevailing over the entire world and ruling through his divine justice across the entire planet. And as we spoke about over the last couple of times when we talked about the government of Imam al-Mahdi, if we consider the advance and the types of military science and military technology which will be available prior to the reappearance of the awaited Imam, then it will show that this will be an incredibly difficult task for the Imam to try and conquer the entire globe, unless that leadership that the Imam has is something which is divinely led, something which is inspired and blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. This divine help, this help that will come straight from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Imam al-Mahdi will sometimes be manifested in the power that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed on him and all of the Imams that came before him, and it will also help by allowing him to perform miracles, these miracles which we have seen the Imams and the Prophets before perform in order to gain success and to show the people how miraculous these individuals are. And by using these miracles and by using the blessings which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to the awaited Imam, he will be able to remove all of the difficulties and hurdles which are in his path when he is trying to conquer this planet. And this help which he is going to get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also going to be manifested and shown in a different way. It is going to be shown through the fear and the dread which will enter into the hearts of the enemies, into the hearts of the kuffar and the disbelievers upon seeing the Imam and upon hearing that the arrival of the Imam is imminent. As well as this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also aid the Imam in sending down angels from the heavens to assist the Imam in his battles. And some of the hadiths that we have indicate that some of his soldiers and some of the people that will come to aid and rescue the Imam will also have characteristics of the angels themselves, and that they will be waiting for the time of the reappearance of the Imam in order to come to his support. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam has said that the Qa'im from among us, the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, will be assisted by dread and by fear, meaning that this fear will be struck into their hearts of the enemies by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam again says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assist al-Qa'im with three armies. The first one will be the armies of angels. The second will be the armies of the believers, of the mu'mineen. And the third will be the army of fear, meaning not a physical army, but an army which infiltrates into the hearts of the enemies of Imam al-Mahdi, which will cause them to crumble from within. From these hadiths, from what Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam and some of the other Imams have said about this concept of fear going into the hearts of those disbelievers, it can be said that when Imam al-Mahdi intends to go to a certain place, and when he wants to take over a certain place from the enemies or the evil people which reside there, then the enemies which are present there will begin to be overcome with feelings of dread, feelings of panic, feelings of fear which sweep over their entire bodies. And from this, they will lose the power and the ability to fight against the Imam. And it will allow the Imam to take over that location and to wipe out these people. When I talk about a feeling of fear, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put into the hearts of the enemies of Imam al-Mahdi, this is not a normal type of fear. A normal type of fear is something that we might have a phobia over. For example, if someone is scared of a spider, they may have fear in their hearts. Now imagine that there is a specific fear which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically puts into the hearts of those who stand against the Ma'soom Imam. This is a completely different type of fear. This is a fear which will overcome their entire beings so that their rational mind does not even exist anymore. Similarly, when the Imam's armies move from a certain place to another place, not a single person there who dares to stand against the Imam will have the courage to stand up against him, because the entire army which looks to stand against Imam al-Mahdi will be overcome with this dread and this fear from the battle which is going to take place. Now, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, has a very interesting quote, very interesting hadith which he talks about and which he narrates to us. And he says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assist Imam al-Mahdi through the angels, through the jinns, and through the sincere Shia. And I will follow this on from another hadith which explains it a little bit more from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. And he says that it is if I can now see Al-Qa'im behind the city of Najaf when he arrives at that point in earth. He will arrive riding a black horse, and between its eyes would be a white portion that shines, and from this it will conquer the entire cities of the world. There will be no city in this world where its people and its inhabitants would not think that Imam al-Mahdi is in their midst, is in their presence. And when he hoists up the banner of Rasulullah, 13,013 angels who have been waiting for the Imam to reappear for so many years will gather under his banner and be ready to fight wars on behalf of him. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam goes on to explain more. He says, these angels that will come to assist Imam al-Mahdi were the very same angels who were with Nabi Nuh in the ark, with Ibrahim al-Khalil in the fire, and with Nabi Isa during his ascension to heaven. Similarly, he says, 4,000 other angels will assist the Imam. And these are the same angels who descended on the land of Karbala to fight on the side of Imam Hussein. However, they were not given permission to fight on his behalf, and so they returned to heaven. When they returned with the permission to make jihad, Imam Hussein alayhi salam had already been martyred. And out of the agony and out of the pain for missing the chance to go and defend Imam Hussein alayhi salam, they have remained sorrowful, they have remained uncomfortable and in pain that they were unable to assist their Madloom Imam. And until the day of Qiyamah, they are flying around the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, shedding tears. These same Imams, these same angels who wish to assist Imam Hussein on the day of Ashura, but were not given the permission to fight, and who constantly circle around the haram of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, are eager and are waiting for the day in which Imam Mahdi reappears, so that this time they will be given the permission to fight on his behalf and to defeat all of the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who stand against the Imam. And if this does not show a person this true status of Imam al-Mahdi, the awaited Imam, the Ma'soom Imam, then what else will? The fact that there will be tens of thousands of angels which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends to go and aid him indicates how much of a presence this man has. And Imam al-Baqir has said, it is as if I can see Al-Qa'im and his supporters right now. Angel Jibra'il is on the right side of Imam al-Mahdi, whilst the angel Mika'il is moving on the Imam's left side. With them is fear and dread, which is moving in the front of them and behind. And these armies will have a distance of 1 month's worth of people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assist him with 5,000 angels from heaven. And again, from Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, he says that the angels who helped Rasulullah, the angels who helped the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during the battle of Badr, have not yet returned to heaven. They have been waiting here in order to help Imam Sahib al-Zaman, and again, their number is 5,000. Understand then that the army of Imam al-Mahdi will not just be comprised of the Shia, not just comprised of individual human beings, it will also be comprised of the jinns and from tens of thousands of angels, including Angel Jibra'il, who will come to assist the Imam. In conclusion then, let us never lose hope in this divine promise which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises us of justice which will await this world. As we're going through every day now and we're seeing horrible tragedies happening before our eyes, whether that be in Lebanon, whether that be in Gaza, whether that be in Yemen, Nigeria, Iraq, Syria, Iran, all of these trials, all of these oppression which are taking place towards the Muslims and towards the Shia are a symbol and a sign for us that although we are feeling pain and we are feeling tragedy in these days, The ultimate victory belongs to these same oppressed people, because when the arrival of Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten his reappearance, comes, it will show the embodiment of divine justice. It will show the meaning of the justice which Allah Azza wa Jal has promised the mu'mineen. His coming is not going to merely be an event which happens in the future, which we look forward to. It should be a flame of hope for us. It should be a spark which ignites a feeling inside our hearts, inspiring us to strive and to do more, to pursue justice wherever we can, to pursue equality and fairness wherever we can in our own lives. And when Imam al-Mahdi reappears, as we mentioned, the earth will be filled with justice the same way as right now it is filled with injustice. The hearts of these downtrodden, oppressed people will find peace, and the cries of the oppressed people will find someone who listens to them and someone who answers them. Just imagine all of the young children in Gaza and in Lebanon just now crying out. Is there anybody who is going to come to our aid? Is there anybody who is going to save us? The same call which Imam Hussein alayhi salam had in Karbala. Is there anybody out there who is going to come and save us? In both of these situations, both of these people are waiting for the divine promise, the divine event of the reappearance of the awaited Imam al-Mahdi. And inshallah, this is something which comes soon. However, the preparation for the coming of Imam al-Mahdi begins with us. It does not begin with Imam al-Mahdi coming without us doing any actions to prepare for him coming, without us carrying out any actions within ourselves to try and hasten his reappearance. No, it is up to us, and we have a duty to establish justice within ourselves, within our own hearts, within our families, within our schools, within our communities, within our Husayniyas, within our masajid, in order to try and establish this system of justice for Imam al-Mahdi to come back to. And we need to try and embody the values which he has as well. What are these values? These are the values of compassion, of looking out for people, of looking out for the other Muslims, especially those who are being oppressed. It means being humble in our religion, not just having Islam as a word which we call ourselves. It means having Islam in our hearts and embodying the principles of Islam. And it means being ready to sacrifice everything we have for when he comes. Because if he comes and we're too scared to answer his call because we're scared about losing money or losing our jobs or even losing our own families, then this is a sign that we are not truly followers of Imam al-Mahdi. The same way as those people in Kufa, for example, who betrayed Imam Hussein, spent their whole lives saying that they would be in the service of Imam Hussein. Yet when it came to Ashura, where were they? Only 72 people with Imam Hussein. So we need to try and not be like these people. We need to try and be the opposite. We need to be of those who come to the aid of Imam al-Mahdi as soon as he calls. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, make us among those who prepare for the return of your proof on earth. Strengthen our hearts with sabr, fill our lives with justice, and guide our steps towards the path of righteousness and haqq, so that we may witness that glorious day when the Imam reappears on this earth, when there is no more oppression which we will see in the lands, and when the banner of true Islam is raised high by the hands of Imam al-Mahdi. And indeed the justice which he brings will be like no other justice which we have ever seen in the entirety of history, because this will be the justice of Allah Azza wa Jal himself. As Sayyid al-Muqawwam stated, when Imam al-Mahdi rises up, no oppressive ruler will be left on this earth. No corrupt tyrant will remain on this earth. And as the Prophet of Islam, Rasulullah, has stated, this earth will be filled with justice. And inshallah, we are given the chance to live to see this day. And inshallah, we are worthy to be amongst the Imam's supporters. And to finish, I ask you to pray for the mu'mineen and the mazlumeen and the mujahideen, and for Sayyid Ali Sistani, and for Sayyid Ali Khamenei, and to recite Dua Ahl al-Thawur for the men of the front lines. And also I ask you to recite Surah Al-Fatiha for all of the Shuhada. and for Sayyid al-Muqawma after salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل